And now let's take you live to Information and Broadcasting Minister M.Venkaiah Naidu's addressing a function of public communicators in Bengaluru. These are the live visuals.
New ideas, new terminology, new discourses. Totally you are seeing nowadays the language also. Now you say stand up, start up, incubation. All these things, we only heard about stand up only during our school days when we used to go late and stand up on the bench. Now it's altogether a different meaning, stand up and start up and all. So keeping that in mind, we, the communicators in the government, we have a greater responsibility to be abreast with the new technologies, new ideas worldwide. And world also has become too small now. Information, as Secretary was telling, it's forthcoming, it's available everywhere. So what we have to do is information, we have to add only confirmation. Information without confirmation is not going to vary conviction. I feel that information with confirmation is the greatest ammunition. It's a great ammunition against injustice, against inequality, against corruption, against evil practices, against misuse of authority. If you have that information and if you pass on the information to the people, and the people are informed well what are their entertainment, what is due for them, how do they get, whom they should approach, then what is the remedy in case of denial. This is very important now because there is no aspirational India. India is aspirational now. People are expecting so much. And now with this present Prime Minister, now aspirations are gone high. Everybody thinks, सब कुछ हो जाएगा, मोदी आया, सब कुछ हो जाएगा. That's aspiration, of course. Partly people accuse us also, you are also responsible for creating that aspiration. I don't want to quarrel with them, but the fact of the matter is this young India is very aspirational. And even the various sections of the social strata, they also have aspiration. They also want to be part of this developmental story. They also want to get their share, their pie. So, how to involve them in this developmental story? That's also important because I am addressing to the communicators from the government side, not the normal journalists. You are not ordinary reporters. You are, though you still report, you report, and we support you also, the government. But the point is, what is essential and what is required is to see that the information without dilution reaches the people. You, in the recent past, the newspapers also have developed a new habit, new virus that try to mix up information, news and views together. Combining news and views is really an unfair practice according to me. You give the news and then you give your views also separately. And also news means news with credibility. That is more important. Simply because you are government and you try to tom and then say Venkaiah Naidu is like this, all these things and all, they are not going to carry the people. People know what is what. They are seeing also. They are seeing, and seeing is believing now. During my student days, I remember there used to be saying about one newspaper. I have no hesitation in taking the name of the newspaper, though it's not very friendly with us, the Hindu. In the Hindu newspaper, people used to say if there is something appears in Hindu newspaper, means confirm. I asked my seniors, how you say it? They say the Hindu, if somebody in your town dies, some senior man, the correspondent will come, visit the home, and see the pulse of the person, and then only declares his death, and then he reports. Then only reports. That's why Hindu is credible. That is the impression. So today, everyone has to really keep in mind the credibility of the news. That's an important factor now. So tomorrow I am having the State Information Ministers Conference in Delhi, organized by my ministry. And also, it seems to be coincidence, the center, the state is organizing it today, tomorrow I am organizing at the center. The importance of integrated communication indeed is very good sign. Now let me start with the basic question. Why do the governments communicate? I leave it to you. Think about it. Public communication is not a mere public relations PR exercise. It is a catalyst for socio-economic change also. It is not just messaging the egos of media persons, it is empowering the people with the necessary information which would in turn make a difference to their lives. Media is a vehicle of delivery and as such is very important. Your information should make a difference to the life of the ordinary people. And that particularly when you are communicating something about government. And unfortunately in the recent another trend also has come. I would like to share with you people through this forum that development is not a news. Destruction is becoming a news. In fact, the headline should be development. Destruction should be sideline. But destruction is becoming mainline and development is becoming sideline. I, as a youngster, used to speak very aggressively in assembly and also used to get some headlines also. When I went to Parliament one day, some 19 years back, I studied on a subject which was due for discussion next day about agriculture. I made a hard study and went to Parliament and spoke for 52 minutes in Parliament. Everybody complimented me, Swaminathan, M.S. Swaminathan ji, Sharad Pawar ji, the other party people, different party people, they all came to me and showed me very, very good speech. Next day, I could not find any mention in any newspaper. Only one newspaper said Mr. Naidu spoke very extensively on agriculture. That's all. I asked them, what is this? They said, sir, you made a constructive speech, fine. Construction is not a news. Destruction is a news. Obstruction is a news. You go to the well of the house, then it becomes a news. If your well is in your this thing on your subject, no news. This trend has to be changed. So there is a famous quote by Shri C.R. Chakravarti Rajagopalachari. If you are not well on the facts, go to the well of the house. That is done by many people, including all party people, sometimes our people also. We have to really search our souls after the 69 years of independence. Are we doing justice to the people? We are an independent country. We are not ruled by foreigners. We have our own government. And then 69 years, see the growth that is taking place across the globe. And what is India's story? Why are we lagging? Keeping that in mind, the focus of the lawmakers, the focus of the communicators, the focus of the rulers should be more on development and more on constructive side rather than focusing more on destructive side. One. Secondly, going by the requirements, we have to be good professionals with a mix of mastery of information, ability to add value and present it in a story format also. Otherwise it will not be interesting. The role of communication in the governance process will only become more, not less, crucial in the times to come. All governments in future would communicate more and more with the people, and that too directly. Citizens' demand for such communication will also continue to rise manifold, fueled by the increasing connections of the digital age and the increasing value of information improving our lives. Effective government communication is thus no longer a nice to have a future, but an imperative as well as driver of good governance. Now the communication with confirmation is photojournalism also now. If there is a photo, the photo speaks for itself. So that's why communication with confirmation along with the photo is a greater ammunition. That trend also, but at the same time it conveys half-truth sometimes. Initial, but
Live visuals from Hotel Lalit in Bengaluru, where currently All India Public Communicators workshop is underway. Those were the live visuals of the address by Information and Broadcasting Minister M.Venkaiah Naidu. Just to quickly reiterate a few points, he underlined the importance and the significance of accurate news. He also talked about how important it is for government agencies to establish direct communication with the people and how important is that. He also mentioned that the confirmed information can be a basic tool to fight injustice.